The 1.2.0 patch for NHL 24 is coming November 9th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. In this video, we're going to break down all of the patch notes and what to expect once the patch does in fact go live. If you enjoy the video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already for the most up-to-date news, tips, and info. Let's get into the patch notes. So here we are. I did have an interview with creative director from EA NHL, Mike Engelhart, the other night. Kind of a live talk about some of the bigger changes coming into the game. So if you haven't watched that, go check it out. He candidly answered a bunch of the bigger questions going on with gameplay and things like that. So I'm going to go over everything that's in the patch notes specifically in this video and kind of give my thoughts and what to expect with it. And again, this is going live November 9th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. It will kick you off. So if you are playing, then just you've been warned. All right, so we'll start with gameplay. The community feedback for this one is the lacrosse shot is too easy to perform with low deking rating players. So to counter that, they added a chance to bobble a lacrosse attempt while performing the move using the total control skill move buttons. That's pressing Y with total control or triangle. The lower the deke attribute rating on the skater, the higher chance for a bobble. So this kind of plays into like Ryan Reeves going behind the net and just hitting Y or triangle and then performing a successful Michigan. Now they have a higher chance to bobble it if that deke rating is lower. So that does mean that the deke rating is a little bit more important now going forward. Prior to this, it really just kind of impacted the speed at which you do dekes, but since in NHL 24, all dekes are 100%, meaning that now when you do a deke, it always works, which is why there was an issue with lower skill rated players using the lacrosse move. It is now being debuffed a little. Increase the difficulty of performing a lacrosse attempt via skill stick to match NHL 23. The right stick now requires a more consistent rotation speed, or skater will lose the puck. Again, for anyone using skill stick, if you were trying to do the lacrosse deke, it will go back to the NHL 23 difficulty. Skilled up X Factor improves the playback speed of the animation like before and keeps control of the puck similar to the last patch. So if you have someone like Trevor Zegras' X Factor, for example, you can still like throw the puck in extremely quick. It makes it one of the more interesting zone abilities. I haven't used it personally, but I did in the moment with Trevor Zegras for his X Factor card, and it was nuts. Next up, the community feedback for this one is the players are taking unintentional push check related penalties in the offensive zone while trying to one-time or shoot a loose puck. This is huge. So if you were sending a pass into the middle and like myself and other players, you kind of hammer up on the right stick just, out of habit. That's how I used to do it as well. When I'm at the point, I'm hammering up on the right stick. But whenever you do that in NHL 24, because that's the new shove animation, it was actually shoving the players that were around them, if there was a player near them, before the puck got to them, meaning that you were just taking interference penalties, which suck. So the fix for that: holding vision control while in the offensive zone and opponent doesn't possess the puck will now prioritize shooting over hitting when using the right stick. So the issue here is that it's when holding vision control, meaning that that's the L2. That's holding down left trigger L2. So when you go to send a pass over for a one-timer, I'm assuming they want you to hold down L2 and then hammer up on the right stick. So we'll have to try and see how that works, but it's not like it's exactly like it was in the prior years. There's going to be some sort of mechanic to it by holding down vision control. Next up, players have found unintentional ways to shoot the puck while charging a pass, resulting in curved shots or unrealistic shot animations. So a lot of players in the community, a lot of the high-end players have found these shots where you're holding down R2 or the right trigger, and that's cooking a pass essentially. And what that's doing is that the AI goaltender is reading that you're holding down a pass, so they come off the post and stop holding the angle because they think that you're going to pass the puck, meaning that you can manipulate them. That's how you're getting the shooting on the forehand, but the release comes on the backhand. That's doing a toe drag shot while holding down our right trigger. There's a big issue at the higher end of the game. Some of these glitches were a little bit more difficult to pull off mechanically, so you probably haven't seen a lot of them in the lower divisions, but definitely in Division 1. So the fix for that: fix the reported issue so players cannot trigger the wrong shot animations and gain an unfair advantage. I'm sure there will be glitches every time they fix something. They break two more things, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. At least they're actually impacting glitch shots. This isn't like last year where there was just just the glitch wrap at the beginning of the year and we were just stuck with it. At least they are trying to attempt to fix some of them. Next up, charging a shoulder check can cause your skater to gain a quick boost of speed as they align for a hit, which allows them to catch up to players unintentionally. This was pretty brutal and honestly kind of like one of the biggest things, especially with total control. If you hold down circle or down on the right stick, if you're hitting like that, you would see your guy kind of load up shoulder check and he would just beeline towards the closest player because you're trying to line up a hit. Obviously, that was pretty bad, especially an unfair advantage, because if you were giving up a breakaway, things like that, you would actually be able to catch up with people. So the maximum velocity of a skater can reach while charging a hit has been capped, meaning that you're not going to be able to do that anymore. And they removed the bonus hit assistance while using the truculent zone ability. That'll be interesting to use for anyone that uses truculence. It no longer is just going to auto-lock onto the player. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. The next one, goalies are stuck in the poke check animation too long without being able to break out into a save. This allows players to easily bait them into a poke and then score. Some poke check animations take too long for the goalie to extend and recover. This is going to pertain to players that are kind of dancing in the corner, and when they skate out in front of the net, your goaltender kind of goes down and goes for a poke check, but it's so slow, and it's like on the post, meaning that they can just hold on the backhand and throw it in the net. I believe this is also going to make the forehand backhand on the breakaway, which is automatic right now, a little bit more difficult because usually you're waiting for the poke check there, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. The fix for it is after the apex of a goalie's poke check animation, so when they're done the poke check, they are now able to break out into a save animation, and extremely long poke check animations have been shortened to be more consistent with the rest of the poke check animations. There was times where the AI goaltender check, and it was just crazy. Like, it would knock out and save huge opportunities, and it was all just because of the... Next up, players have found a high percentage way to score while shooting the puck while the goalie is transitioning off the hug post in a specific post. This one's even worse than the poke check. So your goalie is hugging the bar and you come out from the corner. They will literally they will go into like a save animation, but they're hugging the bar. Even worse is that if they're skating back and forth behind the net, this was actually shown in my latest No Money Spent video, your goalie will hug the post 3 feet in front of the crease. So like while at the top of their crease, they're in the hug post animation and throw it in the net. It was off. So that's the fix for that. Slightly increase the distance a goalie will stay hugging the post when a skater comes out of the corner, allowing them to make more controlled butterfly saves. Hopefully that does fix that issue. Players have found a way to gain unintentional boost of speed while saucer passing to themselves with certain skaters and from the backhand. So for anyone that's been playing the game for a long time, the self-sauce, which is what it was referred to by tapping R1 ever so slightly and giving yourself basically a saucer pass, your player would not have the puck, meaning that he's not getting the debuff when you're carrying the puck, which is 3% to the speed boost of your player. They would lose that ever so slightly, giving them a slight increase to speed technically, but players, that was supposed to be removed. Players were finding a way to actually still do it while holding onto the backhand, and I believe it was certain players with a certain ability, but now that's being removed, which is... kind of huge. The distance the puck travels at minimum power saucer pass is now based on player velocity, pushing the puck further away from the player. So this means that you can't really self-sauce because if you hit R1 in front, you're going to have to go chase it. Like, it's not going to be right in front of you. The distance the puck travels at minimum saucer power... community feedback. Skaters unintentionally enter slap shot wind-up animations after stopping protect puck while holding the right stick in a downward angle. This one's pretty brutal. Anytime that you're using the right stick, using total control, you basically risk winding up for a slap shot, and this is specifically pretty brutal when doing toe drags and things like that. So this one's pretty big. Users must release the right stick to the neutral position and push the stick down again to trigger a slap shot wind-up from protect puck. So that one hopefully fixes those issues. So there's a lot of other small one-off ones. I'm not going to go into the detail. I'm just going to list them. Vision pass icons remained visible after the end of the period. NHL skaters who lost their helmet would not skate directly to the bench. Now they will. Vision pass to an extra attacker could trigger a poke check animation. Never seen that one. A team may accidentally get too many men penalty and overtime. I've never seen that one either. An extra goalie indicator was visible in ones. Face-off location after a net is knocked off the moorings was incorrect. Shot block animations were playing incorrectly. Goalies can get push check through the net while in hug post, and nets were coming off the mooring too easily during gameplay, so that's pretty... There's some other minor ones to the tournament mode, and then franchise. Franchise actually got quite a bit of love. I'll just touch on it quickly here because I know a lot of maybe aren't following me for franchise mode things, but they added regulation wins to standings. Why it wasn't in there before. They added more chemistry links between X factors for abilities based in skating, shooting, and puck skills. So you've kind of got to match them. A shooting, a passing, and a puck skill will get you like max chemistry. Increase the impact of total player worth when running head coach preferred lines for all coaches. Makes coaching more, which is huge. Fixed an issue where CPU teams couldn't sign two-way contracts when up against a salary cap. This change helps teams sign more contracts. This was huge. You'd have in like the second year have like 36 contracts, the bare minimum. So that's going to be huge. Another big one, an issue with CPU teams signing AHL potential players to entry-level deals in free agency and during the re-sign phase. This change can prevent signing more contracts, and these changes end up canceling out, causing CPU to sign roughly the same number of players as before. However, they will be signing players who have a better chance at developing, which is pretty. Fix an issue with the stats shown on the Conn Smythe Trophy overlay, an issue where players without scouted X factors showed up in player search when searching by players with X factors. That kind of ruins scouting, so that's good. Improved rookie signing logic, so CPU teams can hold off on signing lower overall prospects who have potential until they develop, and improved CPU team logic, so they sign low overall AHL potential players in free agency less frequently. That was a big issue where players were being signed when they could have just signed NHLers for the same price, so that's huge. Creation zone, there was quite a few things added for that as well. I'm not going to touch on those ones. Presentation, this one is going to be pretty big for my HUT players out there. Face-off hype spotlights, reduce the brightness and intensity. Animated logos will no longer coverage on ref's puck dropping hand. This was for Edmonton and Dallas, for example. Man, it was like getting a seizure every time that you played on one of those arenas. So hopefully this helps with that. Goal multiplier banner now properly appears in broadcast flow in HUT Rush. Fixed the score clock displaying remaining time incorrectly. That's huge. Improved authenticity of Detroit Red Wings goal horn, and they improved the authenticity of America's team, the Buffalo Sabres. You get 3 blasts. There are some fixes to commentary. And then World of CHEL. I got to be honest with you. I love seeing improvements to the game. But part of me thinks, how the hell was this released with this many fixes coming a month after release? Like, I can't go over this. This video will be 45 minutes long. I will touch on the big ones because they've kind of highlighted them here, okay? So, when forming a drop-in team in World of CHEL, users may have to wait the full matchmaking time looking for a user goalie who may not be available. So the fix for that, once a drop-in team has reached max skaters, the team will continue to search for a user goalie for 5 seconds and then automatically begin searching for an opponent. So you're not stuck in the search screen. Club info and player stats update. In preparation for ESHL Club Finals, we have restructured the way the club info and player skater drawer appears in World of CHEL modes. The info displayed will be relevant to the mode you are currently in, with the ability to toggle between club info, skater, and goalie stats using the right stick. The Creation Zone. The multiple presets within Creation Zone is very confusing to users, many of which don't even realize they have to customize home and away separately for casual and pro, as well as goalie casual and pro. This was a massive issue. So they consolidated the home, away, and alternate outfits presets to a single button instead of a subscreen to make the switch between each simpler to understand. Then edits from character appearance, inclusive of applying a special character, details, shot style, and skating style, will be copied between home, away, and alternate outfit presets so the user doesn't have to manually maintain these changes for consistency between them. We did leave everything else to be manually edited, so a user could decide they may want a completely different clothing and equipment style between home and away, for example. And then look at this. These are all of the fixes going into World of CHEL. Like, I don't mean to be old man yells at cloud, but when I was a teenager and they released a game, it was like actually the game. This is nuts. I don't know what to say. All right, so again, go through this. The link is down below for the patch notes if you play World of CHEL. Unbelievable. Anyways, let's get back. Hockey Ultimate Team. Remove fighting from HUT moments. Fix an issue in HUT moments where coins earned would not be granted until backing out to the HUT menu. Fix an issue in HUT Rush where packs were not displaying correctly. You go to rewards and it was blank. Fix an issue in the trade pile screen where backing out from compare price took you to the wrong screen. This is huge. So the trade pile is now fixed if you were comparing price. That was a major issue, so W there. Fix an issue where some jersey images were not displayed at the correct proportion on the items. I think Latvia didn't even have like the jersey on their card, so that's what that fix is. fixed the issue with ability to edit extra attackers and the shootout lineup. That was causing crashes, and then various UI fixes. I hope various UI fixes means that the menus don't move at the speed of a snail. And then we've got some uniforms added. The Calgary Flames got the home and Heritage Classic. The Hurricanes got their home, away, and thirds. Edmonton Oilers got their Heritage Classics. Panthers, Kings, Predators, Sens, Penguins, and the Leafs all get their jerseys as well. And there's some in the ESHL as well as European League. So that is all of the changes coming to the November 9th patch. Now, there was something that was mentioned when I did my talk with Mike Englehart. And that two things. One was AI penalty. They are looking to hopefully address that. AI penalties being tuned down. It does not appear that it is in this patch. As well as the hip check. I know that that is being looked at. And again, I believe that there is going to be another patch. Don't quote me, but I believe it might be coming in the next month or so. And that would address the hip checks as well as the AI penalty logic, hopefully. So again, if you want to watch the interview with Mike Englehart, go back and watch that. But I believe it is not in this patch. So just wanted to get that out there. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments section down below. Make sure to subscribe for the most up-to-date news, tips, and info for NHL 24. I'll see you next time.